Hi, I'm Allison Pryor and I teach acrylic paintings for beginners and all levels. And today I'm going to show you how to paint this beautiful landscape with a little river and beautiful colorful trees. It could be a fall painting. And I'm going to show you easy techniques and the brushes I use and the colors I mix. So let's get started. Today I got a package from a company called Salvador, and they have art supplies. And they asked me if I would try them out. So these are the brushes that they sent, and they're well packaged. They have these little plastic tops on them to protect them. I just took one off this big one here, right, that had that over it to protect it. So that's a nice brush. That's got a nice pointy top on it, great for flowers. This one here is an angular brush, nice size too. I like the size. I think it flats. I want to see now, when I use these, I'm going to see how they hold their chiseled edge, because it's very important that a brush holds its chiseled edge. If it doesn't, and then we have a Filbert. They put everything in that you need. Look, a Filbert brush, and we have another flat brush. Flat brushes are very important with the chiseled edge, like I said, right? Make sure it's chiseled. When you buy synthetic brushes or nylon brushes, make sure the chisel. Once you get that, then you won't have to worry about, did I buy the right brush? Nice little angular brush there. These are great for flowers, a little flat. And this beautiful fan brush, beautiful. And then we have these liner brushes. These liner brushes, just look at the pointy top on that. That's what you need there with that one. They all got the beautiful pointy tops. Look at that. Look, they got those beautiful pointy tops. See? And look at this one here, how long it is. You need a nice long one for the nice branches on your trees. And these are beautiful. All these are beautiful flowers and small details. So far these brushes are very, very nice. But we're going to try all this out now. So today we are going to do a beautiful painting that I showed you. And we're going to do it with these colors. I have ultramarine blue, and I have cad red, cad yellow. I have sap green, burnt sienna, and titanium white. So these are the colors I'm going to use. I always use basically the same colors because I find they work great. And that will, using the same colors helps you create your own style also. Let's start off with our sky, and I'm going to put on some white. Bit of white first, titanium white. I just want to brighten it up down here and make the paint move. If you have a hard time making your paint move, just a little bit of magic mist will help. A little bit, just a little bit, not much. You don't need much. So I'm only using a small canvas. If you're using a big canvas, you need more. But see, I'm just making it smooth. I'm putting some white on there. All right. Nice. Now we're going to go with the yellow. Just adding a little bit of yellow to my brush. Just a little bit. So I want to make it nice and bright. I don't want it to be too yellow. It's pretty simple, Just slap it on. If you need to brighten it up more, go in with more white. This is titanium white. Titanium white is your brightest white. And it's a little more expensive than your regular white, so you can use regular white and then use your titanium white for your brightest areas. That way you won't have to waste it all over your canvas. But I'm just using it today just so I can show you how nicely it works. But you don't have to use it on all your canvas. But look at that. So that brightened it up really nice, didn't it? All right, clean your brush. And for the sky, we'll make a little bit of a purple color. Okay, make our own. I like mixing my own colors because that way you get used to what colors you want. If you take it right out of the tube, it may not be the color you want, and then you got to adjust it all, So I find it's much better to make my own colors from my colors. It's only, all you need is 3 primary colors, and you can have every color in the book. So I'm going to start off with a dark purplish color first, and then I'm going to start up here in the corners. All right, see, that's not spreading well enough for me, so I'm going to mist it again. Now you can also use magic white if you want to put down first. All right, it's just a little mist. A little mist will go a long way. Maybe I missed it too much. That's okay. It's okay, it won't hurt. Just, if you put too much on, it'll water down your paints, and I don't like that. I don't like to water my paints down. So just the tiniest bit. Nice. So I'm going to add a bit of white to my brush, to my dirty brush, and that will start to thicken up that paint. White is great to make all your paints opaque. If you find that sometimes you do add too much water or your paint comes out a little transparent, just add white to it, and it really helps a lot. Now I want to blend those two colors together, so I'm going to pick up some white again on my dirty brush, and I'm going to go back up here, right between those two lines. Look, see how pretty that is? Come right down to my yellow, that's okay. It doesn't matter, just a little bit of purple, but look, it shouldn't come off. If you're worried about it, clean your brush before you do it, okay? And then put your white on. See how that's softening it up so much better there now? See? Great way to learn how to blend too, you know. So that's pretty, isn't it? Look, right down to my yellow. I don't mind. See how pretty that blend is? Isn't that gorgeous? Now if you want the corners to be a little darker, just put on some more purplish paint. Darken up your colors if you want to do that. You know, just a little bit there and a little bit here. Now clean off your brush, because we don't want to get that into we don't want to get that into the rest of our sky. We just want, so we don't want to we don't want that to go into all of it. So we just want to blend it in so that it blends nicely. So your brush is nice and clean, and then you just take that and blend it in. Blend it in. There we go. See? Nice way to learn how to blend your paints, and you know, add your paints, dark paints after, or doesn't matter what colors you add together. Once you blend them, once you blend your paints, then it comes out really nice. Learning how to blend is the big thing, right? And with the magic white and the magic mist and the magic paint, that will all help you blend your paints beautifully. And I have all the links to all those videos on how to make your own magic white and all that stuff. And that will help you a lot, because a lot of people, they don't paint with acrylics because they don't like the fact that it dries too fast. But I have come up with a new way to make your paints last and stay wet and blend beautifully. Alright. So I'm going to use this bristle brush next. It's a size 12. It says size 12. Like I said, all brands are different sizes, so I can say a size 12, but use a brush that's, you know, fits your canvas, okay? And I'm going to make some background trees. I'm going to use my burnt sienna. I want them a bit lighter so I have a bit of distance. Might add a little bit of red to them, a little bit of yellow, I don't know. I just want to have some color today. I just want to make some really nice colors. I'm going to add some white to brighten it up so that we can have them in the distance. So you're having distant trees, you want to make them bright. So let's make some trees. Oh, that's a nice color, isn't it? Look at that. It's pretty. Some are higher than others. Just tap, 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 tap. All right. Nice. So just make some higher than others, like I said. Some are lower than others, and some are higher. Pretty. I like that. I'm just coming up and making some bigger than others. They're nice and distant when they're light like that, see? I'm just tap, tap, tapping. Tap, 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 tap. Different size trees. Nice. I'm really happy with that color. Pretty. All right. So let's remove our tape. Good. Nice. Now we got to decide what we want in the front. Probably a little river, do you think? Maybe a little river, maybe a little bank, you know, some trees. We've done some nice landscapes like this before, but I'm trying to add a little more color today. Sometimes I'm overly green, and but I like I like to make something nice back here. So let's see. With the same brush, the bristle brush, see, is great for tapping. Always think of tapping. Whenever you're tapping something on, you want some texture, make sure you use a bristle brush. You can't get the same texture with a synthetic brush. So I'm just going to go with some green. Now that green is okay. So I want it to be more lighter green. Might add a little tiny bit of, let me see, red maybe. Just mix in some of your different colors. Experiment with your colors and see what you can get. Maybe a little bit of blue. So you have 3 primary colors, and you can use all those colors together, and you won't make mud if you do it one by one. So I'm just going to tap on some grass. Tap on some grass. Tap, 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 tap. I'm thinking I might have a river. Let's see. I'm trying to decide which way I want my... Let's see. I'm going to probably just draw out some idea of what way I want to have. Maybe a little bit of grass going on here. And maybe the river can come over here. And we can bring in some more grass and something else here. I'm not sure yet. Okay, so we'll just get some idea where we want things to go. Just tap that on there. So let's make it simple first. Let's just tap on a simple, basic green grass. All right, and let's add some more color to that grass. I'm going to add more red, and I'm going to add green and yellow. Darken it up a little bit down here. We're going to be doing colors on top of these colors, but I want to have some kind of shadows. These are my shadows. So in order to have shadows under my grass, I need to have a nice dark underpainting, okay? So I have to have something dark underneath in order to... The reason I made those light is because they're distant trees. All right? Just adding different colors. Look, I'm only going to tap in a bit of red. Tap in a bit of red on top of what I already did. And that will give you some underpainting, nice colors under your painting. Some of them might come through. That's why I'm doing it. Just want to let you know why I'm doing things. Because it's nice to know, like, why did you do that? What's the purpose and the reason for you to do that? So I'm going to leave that a bit later up there because I do want that nice and light. But I do want to darken this so that I can add whatever I add on top of it. I got nice shadows. Okay? So, that's good. And same with over here. I want to have a nice dark underpainting so that I can put things on top of it, okay? So nice and green. Just throw in some yellow and make sure it's nice and green. Tap, 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 tap. Good. Tap, 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 tap. All right. So that's all I'm doing. I'm just tapping on my green and I'm adding color to it. I'm just going to add, look, watch, I'm going to just take in some red. Look, see? There you are. I'm going to take in some red. You don't have to do this. You want to just stick with just green because you're going to put color on top of it anyway. But I'm just thinking it could show through what I'm putting on there and it may not. But still, it's there in case you need it, okay? So that's my reason for it. So now we have established what way we want things to go. All right. So that's the way we want things to go. I want to put some nice little bank right there. So put a grassy bank there. Keep it nice, bright. So I'll just go back into my yellow. Maybe a little bit of red, give kind of an orangey look. Oh boy, I'm going to try and get colorful today if it's possible. I love orange in paintings and purples. Oranges and purples, they go together, see? They're complementary. And I love it. A little bit of orangey colors over here too. Nice. It's okay to go up into your trees. It looks like little bushes anyway. Alright, looks like little bushes in front of those trees. It's fine. Nice. Just bringing those together. See? See how pretty that is? Now we can probably put some color in our river. And then we can add colors on top we got, and then it's done. I'm just going to try a small flat brush, and I'm going to mimic the sky. So the sky is going to have some yellows and purples in the water, right? And as we get down here, it'll get darker. Stay light up against here because that's where the light is shining down on that. So I'm going to go with my yellow and a little bit of red, kind of an orangey color, just sort of to mimic the sky. And I'm going to put that in here. It's okay to go up into there. And we'll go put that in. And we're going to add a little bit of white to that too, I think. Brighten it up a bit. Look at that. Look how pretty it is already. Just the little colors, you know. Isn't that nice? Nice. Now I'm going to add a little bit of a purplish color. Okay. So let's make our little bit of purple. Some blue and some red. A little bit of purple. You want the purple to be on the blue side. Add more blue than red. And then add white to lighten it up a bit. So because we got to make it light because it gets darker as we go down. But it's light up here. So just put in some of that. Good. If your paint dried on you, just mist it a little bit. Just give it a little quickie there. Alright. I keep getting a little bit too much, but that's okay. That's okay. I'm going to add more white to that. I want it to be nice and bright. With that little misting, that helps. See how that blended together beautifully there? Okay. So go horizontal. Stay horizontal. Stay horizontal. Alright. So keep that nice and purplish color there. And clean your brush. If your color is turning, because your paint is dirty, maybe you got it mixed in a little bit of yellow or something with it, or something happened. So make sure that you clean your brush if anything happens, that you're getting different colors. So I'm going to darken it up a bit more now. And what I'm going to do is, I don't want it totally dark yet, so I'm going to add a little bit more white to it just to thicken it up a little bit and brighten it up. A little bit more red. That's nice. See how that's darker now? And because of the magic mist, we can blend those two colors together beautifully. So just continue with that. And as you want to blend those two colors together, add a little bit of white, or mist it, with your magic mist, or use a blending gel. The blending medium. So that's better. That looks good. I'm trying to stay horizontal so it doesn't look like it's curving, you know. Try to keep it so that it's going horizontal. There we go. Pretty nice. Make sure it's nice and dark down here. And as we come up, it will blend in with the rest. Nice dark color, isn't it? Pretty. Kind of nice. A little bit. Just going to add a little bit of light color there, just to give it kind of like a, like there's some light from the sky. I'm not using much because we're going to be going over this again anyway. Just want to throw on a little bit there. Okay, pretty. So I'm going back to my bristle brush again, and I'm going to add a few little trees back here, as if there's some trees going on back there. I'm just going to use colors of oranges. I'm just going to tap into my yellow, a little bit of red. Just a little bit of green in there too, but I'm just going to tap that on there so that I can get some trees in the background again there. So just the illusion of trees back here. Just tapping very, very gently, okay? Very, very gently. Good. Add a little more yellow to my brush. Add another one here. Good. Another one here. Just trying to make it as easy as I can for you. Just going back and forth here, trying to get a bit of a shape to a tree. It's good. Going to skip that part there, probably leave that for a tree, and then we can have a reflection here. Now I'm doing this paint. This is a painting inspired by Jerry Arnell. I love his paintings, love his books, and he has very colorful paintings, and that's why I wanted to see if I could do a painting inspired by Jerry so that I could get lots of color. Now I could do my own paintings and add lots of color, but I find that I'm not sure about you, but I need to look at pictures, and gives me ideas. It helps me along so much. See, now I just got all that there. Lovely. And so I'm going to add some more maybe here. Just to say there's some bushes and things going on here. It's nice and bright and eerie, you know. It's kind of going over the ones I already did a little bit. Just tap that on everywhere. Don't worry about it too much. Just kind of tapping around so it looks like there's more distant trees back there. Isn't that nice? All right. Good. Take your liner brush, and this brush is from a company called Salvador. Okay, I love their brushes. So I can have... see if I can find them on Amazon for you. So let's see. I'm going to make some, so we got the burnt umber and a bit of blue. So I want to make it nice and dark. Alright, so if you add blue to your burnt umber, you'll get almost a black color. See that, how black that is almost, right? So I'm going to use that for some tree branches. So there we go. Add water, because I find that you really need to add water to get that to move. Great little brush. Really nice. It's synthetic. I'll see if I can find those and put them in my Amazon shop. Nice thin lines you can get with it too. Look at that. Really nice. Now it's okay to see those dark like that, because what we're going to do is we're going to paint over. We're going to add a few more little leaves and things to go into those. Just put in as many as you can. If you find it hard using a brush, just use you can use a pen, put in your lines if you want. You have a mixed media painting. It can be a marker, you know, but some of the markers you need a really thin top to it, okay? So just keep adding your little thin lines. Add water if you got to. Right, so I added water so you can see how watery it is there now. Look how beautiful that brush is. I really like these brushes. Nice. Love the brushes. Work really well. Easy to work with. Yeah, pretty. Really nice brushes, I got to say. I'm trying these out today. Working really well. It's my first time using these brushes. They're really nice. Salvador. Got great control here. I mean, look, everything's just working out nicely. Isn't that pretty? Oh, I'm so happy. So I'm going to put a tree right in the center of here. So I'm going to put on, I find that if you put on the leaves first and then put in your branches, then you can, like, we can tap over those branches so that they don't stand out too much. But I find it much easier to do it this way. That way you can put some more leaves on top. And that way it'll tone down those, tone them down, see? That way you get to layer your trees again. An excuse to go back and add more leaves. Look. The more you layer your paints, the nicer it is, though. I must say. Layer on top of layer. It's beautiful. Just gives you so much color, you know. So you don't have this one color. You got a ton of colors, but you're layering them on top of each other. So now I'm going to take my brush and I'm going to clean it off. I don't want too much yellow on it right now. And I'm going to put red. And that's a nice color red. I probably don't need much of anything else. Maybe a little bit of burnt sienna there. Just a little tiny bit. I'm going to darken them up just so it would be like an underpainting, okay? And then I'm going to tap on some of these, just like we did the other places, okay? So I'm just going to go right to the top of the, I'm going to miss spots. I'm going to come right down, and as I come down and get smaller, tap smaller. That's good. That's perfect. All right. That's nice, because we'll layer that now in a minute. So why don't we put in our little twigs, our branch, and our tree trunk, tree trunk, tree trunk. Make it look like it's two. And then we'll just go right up. And as you go up, lift up on your brush. So when you want a bigger tree trunk, you just push a little harder. And as you go up, you can just lift up on your brush and get these really small lines. And you got a really good brush, a good liner brush, you won't have any problem getting these lines. And I do find this brush really good, I must say. Really happy with the brush. A lot of my brushes are Dollar and Rowney and Liquid X and Dollar and Rowney and all kinds of brushes. But this is the first time I tried Salvador brushes, so I really like them. I must say they're really nice. I like trying different brushes. So, you know, don't be afraid to try brushes, different brushes when you go shopping. As long as they feel good, you know, and they're nice and stiff and they bounce back when you Because unless you're doing watercolor paintings, if you're doing watercolor paintings, then your brush is really flappy, especially when you add water to it. Okay, so that's a nice little tree there. So I'm going to add a little bit more color on top of that. A little bit of an orangey color. Just add a little bit of, there's my red. Okay, I'm going back over exactly what I did. I don't want to change the shape. I kind of like the shape. Now I'm going to go into my yellow. All right, there's my yellow. Hopefully I don't make too kind of globby looking, isn't it? So you get a problem like that, just tap here, so you'll see what's going to happen, and that's what's going to happen. And you're trying to get more yellow, so you tap again. And if you really have problems, you clean your brush completely. I'm okay. So I'm just going to tap on some of my yellows, kind of orangey colors. Get more yellow if you need it, and then that will bring out some of these. See? Look at that. And the more you layer it, the better shape it comes out. See? So always think about layering, and always think about your 3 values. I got dark, medium, and light there. How pretty is that? I like that, so I'm not going to touch it anymore. That's the thing, got to know when to stop. If you want to have reflections from the tree, then you bring down those lines into the water. Okay. Just bring them down like that, that's all. If you want to add a little more tiny ones here like this, and add some more in the back there. And then you can bring some more down here. So I'm going to put some stuff on the water in it, so don't worry about too much. They're just reflections from the trees up here. So you can add some more little ones. All these little small details are kind of nice. Good. These are main ones here, this one here. Alright, we'll just come on down as far as we think we need it. And this one here. Okay. I put a couple of tree trunks here. I'm using the Salvador brush again. I really like them, so I'm going to continue using these Salvador brushes and my own Bristle brushes that I have there. So I like this one. So this one is a size, this one says size 6. Okay, but it's kind of small, you know, because you have to fit it to your canvas. So I'm going to use a chiseled edge and I'm going to push. So I'm going to use my burnt Sienna with a little bit of red. Just a little bit of red. I don't know. I just want to try and get as much color in my painting today. Alright, so we'll take the inside one first, and we're going to come down to about here, and then you're going to push all the way to the top. So we're going to start on the chiseled edge, and we're going to push a little because it's a smaller brush, and then as we come up, as we get up here to the top part, we'll thin it out a bit by lifting up the brush like that, see? Now we may need to do 2, obviously, because I ran out of paint, which is fine. It's going to happen, but I like to have a continuous stroke so that I can get that nice sharp edge. And then use a chiseled edge, and you can come out through the side here like this. Alright, so as long as you use your chiseled edge, you're okay. And then we have another one on this side here, coming out from here, and it goes up here, okay? And you come up and thin it out. I pushed a little bit hard there by accident. Sometimes my hand does whatever it wants. So I'm going to push there so that I can get that to all match. So it's not the brush, my hand. Well, my hand just wants to do whatever it wants. Oh my goodness. Nothing worse than not having much control over your hands. It's really hard sometimes. So I have another one over here that I want to do. Some of these are nice. I'm going to start probably here and just do the same thing. Touch and push up, 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 and thin it out. I'll do another one. probably another big one right here. I'm going to use the flat of my brush this time. So that was vertical on the chiseled edge. This time I'm going to use it horizontal. So the chiseled edge is now horizontal. And I'm going to pull up, 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 up. So I get a nice big thick one right to the top. I have to add more paint. This brush works really nice. This is really nice. Everything's so smooth with this brush. I'm going to use this palette knife. This is also a nice little palette knife from Salvador. Salvador. Yeah, there it is there. See? Salvador. I'm going to use this palette knife. I'm going to try make some nice land here. Okay? So I'm just going to use some of my burnt... I like the shape of this palette knife, I must say. It's got a nice shape to it. I haven't used these supplies before, so it's my first time using them. And because I like to try different brushes. And I'm going to add a bit of yellow, a bit of red, a little bit of white maybe. Brighten it up, see that? Just got all these different colors. See how that works out. I'll put as much as I can on the back of my back of my palette knife. And I'm going to scrape that on there. I'm going to leave that little bit under the tree there for, so that's for, oh yeah, nice, nice. Oh yeah, that's pretty. Look, it's coming out really nice. This is your bush here. This is, leave that. Oh, I love the way that the top is rounded, and that way you can get these nice round areas here like this. Really nice, I must say. Just pick up your paint right out to the edge there, look. This is really nice, working beautifully. Very happy with the brushes and the palette knife, I must say. I'm not going to tell you anything. I'm going to add some white. I'm not going to recommend anything if I don't feel that it's going to be any benefit to you. Because I want you to use anything that I recommend and say, oh, that was a good recommendation. I don't want you to come back and saying, that didn't work out very good. You know. So I'm just making these nice. So all I'm doing is picking up some of my burnt umber, a bit of white, a bit of yellow, a bit of red, right? Look how nice that's coming out though, isn't it? I really think this palette knife is really helping me get this really nice. Nice, look at that. Yeah, it's giving me a... I have other palette knives there, but I'm finding that this one, because I don't have a round top one, all my palette knives are pointy tops. And they're plastic. I like the material in this one. It's got a really nice wooden handle and that metal top there. Looks nice and sturdy too. It feels good. Feels nice and light, yet sturdy. And like I said, I got palette knives. They don't have that nice round top. Like this one has a bit of a round top, but it doesn't have it as round as this one. So I find that the shape is very important. I have these plastic ones also, and they're very pointy, which is good to have too, right? But I haven't seen the round ones that much. So this is a good one to have. Like I said, shape means a lot, and it's small enough to fit in your hand comfortably. Very nice. All right. So I'm just going to bring that out to the edge, and I'm sort of going horizontal. And I will probably take some of that in around here to give it a bit of shape. Maybe. Let's see. Probably bring it up a bit, just so it looks like it's going up, like it's coming, like probably take it down into the, take it down, there we go. So you take it up and then come down and then horizontal. That might give you a nice little bank here, right? That's what I'm trying to accomplish, a bank. If I can accomplish a bank, sometimes, you know, you have in your mind what you want to accomplish and you can't get it to work out. But we will work at it. Alright, and then I'm coming down to make a bank, and then I'm going horizontal. All right. Isn't that nice? Oh, look at all the different shapes. And just horizontal. You can even flip it over, just a little extra paint on there and just throw it on. Nice, look at that. You get all kinds of things going on there. Look at that. Really nice. There's another little bank over here also, so I might as well put that in there. Same colors. Same colors. What I'm going to do with this one is I'm going to give it an area where I want to start coming down. I'm just going to do that, and then I'm going to bring it down instead of going back and forth like that. I'm going to bring it down. And that gives the illusion of a bank. I'm going to bring it forward here. I must say I'm finding this palette knife a big help. It's helping me get the shapes better. I'm going to darken up that burnt sienna with a bit of blue. So I can have kind of a shadowy colors up here. You can always lighten them up. Nice. You see I'm using lots of paint. And I'm just scraping it on my knife. Just like that. Just throwing it on there. Nice. I like those shadows. Because I'm going to be adding other colors to that now after. It's nice, isn't it? Nice shadow color. And look, it gave it a nice bank, didn't it? I'm going to add a bit of white. And I'm going to bring that bank out a little bit down here on the bottom just to say it's a little footing there. I'm going to add that dark color here because I need shadow for this one here too. I didn't put enough shadow in here, so we'll put some shadows in here. Shadows and highlights are very important in your painting. Nice. Nice. I like it. Nice. Look how nice that came out. Wasn't that amazing? Palette knife did that. I didn't do anything. Excellent. So I'm using my bristle brush again. So I'm going back and forth with the flat brushes and the bristle, okay? So as you can see, I'm using this synthetic brushes for the soft and the palette knife. For the softer areas, that softer area there was with a flat brush. But as I'm every time I go to tap something on there, then I use my tapping brush, my bristle brush. And I'm going to put a really dark green on there, so I'm just going to take my green and I'm going to add yellow and blue to that green. I'm not too fussy about that color green, so I'll make my own really. But I want it nice and dark, so I'm going to add some blue and green. And more blue than green, more blue than yellow, and a bit of green, and then that will give me a nice dark green. And I'm just going to tap on some. I'm not going to barely touch it, okay? Barely touch it. Just a little bit here and there, just to get it started. Good, just that's enough for now, because I don't want to tap on too much. It's better to have little than it is too much. So if you add too much, you can't take it away as easy as if you add, you know, a little, then you can add more. So always think that it's best to add less than it is more. Then you can always adjust it. So I want to get some more branches in here. I'm going to go with my dark burnt umber and my ultramarine blue, and I'm going to add some more branches here. That little bulge here, I'll take that out here. Look how nice that flows. Really like it. So we got that one there. I'm going to darken that one up a little bit so I can see it. Whoops. Whoops. That's my hand doing whatever it wants. A little bit out here. So just adding a few extras. Don't forget to wet your brush so you can get it to move. Good, and then maybe we'll put one up here. A little more burnt sienna. I don't want it to be too black because my tree is not that black. And some more branches up here and here. Good. Nice little branches. Taking a branch off of that one. So, you know, you can take branches off of branches. We already have a branch done. Then just take a branch off of that one. Extend that one a bit. Come out. There we go. Good. If you want to add more in here, you can. More the merrier. Where else can we put? Let's see. Got some over here. Lots of them over there. We may need to add some more bushes and things over there. And we also have a nice big one off of here. Good. And one off of here. We have some off of this one. Nice how we're layering all the trees, though, isn't it? Really gives it a lot of interest. I'm going to take that dark color and I'm going to add some shadow to the side of this tree here. I think I'll use my flat brush for that. I think that would be wise. Let's use our flat brush for that one, a small flat. A small flat brush might be nice. Nice dark edge here. You're going to need to keep your edge, right? Let's give a nice dark color. This will be a shadow. See how my hand is doing whatever it wants? So try to get a straight edge. Never mind my hand. And look, I love how this is keeping, it's keeping the chiseled edge. Because it's really hard to find brushes that will do that. Unless you pay a lot of money for them. So I think these brushes are really reasonably priced. And they're good brushes. So I'll be using these more often. Here we go. Yeah. Let's see what other, we need a shadow over here. See how the shadow looks really nice, doesn't it? So obviously, that means that the light is coming from the left, because the light is going to shine on the edge of those trees. See? So now we can add a little bit of light to the tree to brighten them up a bit. I'm just going to add a bit of white to my brush. Just a bit of white to my dirty brush. And I'm going to add that to the edge of these trees. Use the chiseled edge so that you can keep that shape of that tree, okay? Add more white. I say the dirty brush because we don't want the white to look chalky. There we go. Doesn't that look nice already? See the chiseled edge is keeping that tree shape. Same with over here. Alright, so let's get some of the light color here. Kind of on the edge here. And then you can miss some spots and move it in and have these little short strokes. Okay? You're going to go up underneath here. Maybe a little bit in here. It's supposed to be a little bit. Alright, and then some down here. That looks nice though, doesn't it? And then if your tree is a funny shape, you can always fix it up then with your chisel edge brush. Even some of those shadows. That looks nice, doesn't it? Pretty. You can also do these here. See? All these little things that you do really helps. Really helps a lot. All these little details. A little bit of light on this. They're pretty thin, so you don't need a lot. But if you put a little bit on there, it looks nice. Kind of shapes them up a little bit better. Makes them stand out a little bit more. Just put the paint next to what you did instead of right on top. That way it'll keep the shadow for you. Get a bit of paint. You don't need a lot of paint for these. Just thinking the light might be hitting off some of these edges here. See, I'm not going right into the tree, right on smaller branches. I'm just going alongside of them so that I can keep the shadow. So already that looks nice, doesn't it? I'm going to add a little bit of a bluish white. A bluish white leaves a really nice shadow on trees. Just adding a few little short strokes of my blue white. Blue white. If you end up putting too much highlight on that edge there, it goes right into your tree. Just go back in with some dark. Like just go in and pick up some of your dark color. And then you can add a few of those dark colors in between. Okay? Just to bring back some of the shadows and some, see, like that, see? Okay? Sometimes you can make a little bit too much, right? See, there's some still there. Maybe a little bit here. So you get to keep your highlight, plus you made more of a shaped tree better. See? Lots of good things. Go back with your highlights and your shadows. It's okay. You can go back and forth till you get what you're looking for. Excellent. Now, let's add some more with your dark brown ultramarine blue. Let's add some more smaller coming out here, so we can add a few more of these leaves coming out. Okay, so this is just because we got some tree leaves coming out overhead here. I'm just adding some of these little thin branches. Don't forget to add a little bit of water. Very lightly. Try not to touch too hard. Once you press a bit hard, you're going to get thicker ones, but to get the really thin ones, you need to really barely touch the canvas. Even if you don't get a full stroke, it's okay as long as you can see some. Right? So, you know, just add a few more here. These are where your leaves are going to go. So over here, these are where your leaves are going to go here. Let's try putting leaves on, see what that looks like so far. So this time I'm going to try this brush here. It's a brush. It's in my Amazon shop. My name is not in the Amazon shop one, but you see those bristles? See how they're not straight across, but they're all different shapes or sizes, I should say. And that's called a chip brush. And it's just a regular painting brush that you can use. And I find it's great for doing leaves and things. So I'm going to wet it and tap it off into my tissue. And that way it will spread open. Spread it open in your finger, in your palm of your hand. And see how they open up? That's what you want. You want those to open up, and then you're going to tap into your dark green that you made. Alright. And then you're going to tap that, and you'll get all these little tiny, and it'll do it for you. See, look, and you don't have to do them individually. See? It's a big help. So the other bristle brush was good, but it was too small for these separated leaves. See? See, I was getting a little bunch, a couple of bunches there, and I didn't want that. So put some more over here on these. So I do find these fantastic. See, they're in the Amazon shop. In my Amazon shop there also. So the Salvador brushes that I'm using, they sent me the brushes to see if I wanted to try them out. So that, and so I told them that I would try out their brushes for them, and if I liked them and if they worked out good, I would put them in my Amazon shop so people can buy them. And I recommend them. I will recommend the brushes for sure. And the palette knife is really nice. So hopefully you can buy all this stuff separately, because you don't need everything. That's if they have a kit. You don't need everything in the kit, you know. So I would buy the brushes. I would recommend the brushes. And there we go. Isn't that nice? Look. Look, 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 look. I probably want a little bit more right here, just to bunch them up a little bit more. And a little bit of bunch right here, just to kind of thicken them up in different places. Nice, I must say. So far, so good. Nice, very nice. All right. Now here's the fan brush. It's a big fan brush. They may have different sizes, I'm not sure. This one's kind of big for what I want to do, but I'll try it anyway. So I'm going to wet it. I'm not going to wet it. No, I'm not going to wet it. I'm going to try it dry. I normally wet my brushes, but I just want to try this dry. And I'm going to add yellow and red. And I'm going to, see how dirty my palette is? I want that to mix. I like the way my paints are mixing like that. Some grasses here. Nice. Pull up a few grasses. That's why I'm using the fan brush, because then I can pull up. See? So once I tap on, tap on, tap up. Tap on, tap up. Tap on, tap up. Tap on, tap up. Now I am tapping, and I'm not using bristles, but the fan brush is great for that. Just tap, 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 tap. I really like this brush. Flip up. I gotta say the brushes are really nice. I'm happy with the brushes. So I'm not being sponsored by Salvador. They didn't sponsor me. They just sent me some brushes, asked me to check them out and see if I liked them. And they didn't even ask me to do a video. They just asked me if I would just try them out. That's all. I guess it's just a marketing, you know, like advertising and things. They want people to try the stuff out because we don't know. I mean, I never tried them before. I didn't even know they existed till they sent it to me. So, but I'm very happy with the brushes, I have to say. I like the way this is working though. Look at the grass. I'm going to a bit of green this time and yellow. A bit of green and yellow. I'm going to tap on here. I'm going to turn it sideways and see if I can get some nice... Oh yeah, that's nice. There we go. Good. Yep. That's good. Look at that. I'm just turning my brush different ways. Try and get a bit of a curve there. Nice. Good. Tap on a little more here. Some grass. See if I can get a new, some yellow and red. Kind of an orangey color here. Pull up. Some grasses there. I might add a little bit of white to brighten up my colors. So there we go. And there we go. And pull up. Or you can pull up like this. I'm trying to get that more orangey color. Adding a bit of white. I'm just going into my colors, like my reds, my yellow. And if a bit of green gets in there, it's fine. A bit of white. I'm trying to keep the colors a bit separated. I don't want to make one color. So let's see if I can get that. Tap it on first. I find tapping it on first and lifting it up helps. Alright, it's nice. I'm going to turn it this way so I can go between those two trees. Good. See how that dark underpainting that I put there gives that nice shadows and stuff? Isn't that nice? Yeah, I like it. Come down a little bit over that little hill that I got made there. Tapping on some of the color in here. I'm trying to leave some of the dark, as you can see. Coming down around that hill area. Nice. I'm going to brighten up at the edge a little bit there. Some yellows. Just to make it look like an edge. Because the light on top of the dark there will give it an edge look. It's pretty. And it's nice too, it doesn't separate too much, you know what I mean? Like, that's the trick, you don't put water on your fan brush, just paint. Yellows on there. I want to get some brightness going on here too, right? Try to add a bit of white if your colors won't brighten up enough. Just put a bit of white on there, and that'll help. nice. I'm going to add a little bit of yellow, some white on my brush. Still a bit dirty. And I'm going to highlight some of this up here. Pretty. Get a little bit of paint on the corner here and just get in between those two trees. I must say though, I'm getting good results with this brush. And you can see me. I'm not saying, okay, it's a great brush and you can't see what I'm doing. You know what I mean? Like, you can actually see it for yourself. And I'm going to use my dark burnt sienna with a bit of blue. And I'm going to put some shadows along this bank here. Nice chiseled edge. Just some shadows here into that area. Right? Don't need a lot here because that's where the grass is. This looks nice here. Clean off my brush. I'm going to wipe it off. And I'm going to take some of that for shadows down here. Just a little bit, okay? Not too much, just a little bit. I'm going to just scrub along here for a little bit of a shadow. Just some of that leftover paint. That's just a little shadow there. Then I'm going to take the same brush, I'm going to add white to the chiseled edge. I'm trying to do, when you're working your painting, you work all over the place, right? So when you're working on an area, try to do as much as you can in that one area before you move on if you can. And I'm going to add a little bit of a water line here to separate that so you can tell that it's the end of the edge of the I'm going to tone it down a little bit. I find it a bit too bright. It's just a water line that I put there. Just going to add a little bit of color over that one I already did. So it's kind of nice. It's kind of nice. If it's too much, just add a little more of this darker color underneath here. Thin out the line if it's too wide. So many things you can do. If something goes wrong, just go back over it again. That's all. That's all. No need to worry too much. I'm going back to my bristle brush. I love being all over the place. So I'm going to take my red color that I had up here. And I'm going to put that in the water. As if there's the reflection from the trees there. You want it a bit sporadic. You don't want it to... It's going to come down here into this. Okay. Don't need much there. Just little taps. That's all. Alright, we're coming along. It's pretty, isn't it? It's so pretty and colorful. That's what I wanted today. I want a really pretty, colorful. I really love this down here. You know, I don't have to do much with that. I kind of like, I'm just going to add a few little rocks that maybe a bit of a dark shadow color here. And I'm getting into a mess, which is fine. That's what painting's all about. So, I'm going to going to tap on some colors over here. I'm going to use my bristle brush for that, my smaller bristle brush. I'll say that this is a number 12. Yeah, it looks number 12, okay? It's number 12, this bristle brush. Now, like I said, match it up to the shape, to the size of your canvas. So for that over there, I'm going to add some, I'm going to start with a little bit of a darker color with my burnt sienna, a bit of green. And I'm going to, I already have that there, so I'm just going to elaborate on it a little bit, just bring it up a little bit more. A little bit more, not much. So I don't want to mess up those beautiful trees behind there. Okay, that's good enough. That's good. I don't want to mess it up. And then I'm going to clean my brush off. And I'm going to add some oranges and yellows. So I'm going to use red and yellow. Get us started, alright? I'm going to put them up here. Just very lightly tap. As you can see, I'm getting a bit of a blob there. So I put too much paint on my brush. I'm going to go right directly into yellow. Look at all the paint I got on there. Got to be careful. I'm going to get blobs. So what I better do is be careful. Tap it off here so I can see what I'm going to get. And I'm going to get too much red because I'm looking for yellow. So I'm going to tap a lot of that paint off and go back into my yellow. And try to get more of a yellowy, just yellow and green there. Which is nice. I really want it bright. That's nice, isn't it? Lots of yellow. Tap gently. Around the tree. Nice. A little bit of red in the background there. Nice reddish color back here. A little bit of reddish color over here. Trying to find where the reds are. And I can tap them in and get those in there. And then go back with other colors. Nice. Now I'm going to go get some more yellow. So, tap, 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 tap to get some of that paint off of there. And then just add yellow. See the yellow? And then I'm going to add that here. Now your brush is going to determine what your leaves and your everything is going to be like. So if you have any trouble with your brush, switch it around for something else. But make sure it's bristle. Once you're tapping, but some of your bristle brushes might be better than others. So check it out by changing up your brushes, okay? Don't be afraid to change up your brushes. That needs to be dry down there in order for me to do any work. So you do one spot, and if you want it brighter, you just go over that spot again. And so you see any spots that you want to brighten up. So you're just going back and forth with your paint. And I like the fact that I got a dirty brush so I can, and then do another spot. And then, if you want, make a bit of green with a bit of yellow to brighten it up. And then you can tap on some greens. But separate them, you know, keep that, that's why your dark underpainting is there, so you can separate the bushes. Okay? I'm going to wait for that to dry a little bit so I can, but that's pretty. Lots of color, isn't it? Pretty. Nice. So I'll wait for that to dry a bit, and then I'm going to work on, what I'm going to do now is, I'm going to put on some little pebbles. And I'm going to use a small flat brush. Small flat might work. We'll try a couple of different ones. I'm still using Salvador here. And this one is a size 2. Little tiny brush, little tiny flat. I'm going to see if I can get some nice rocks from this one. Little pebbles and rocks. So I'm going to go with my burnt sienna, and I'm going to take the dark color on one side of my brush. It's dark, or on both sides, it don't matter. on both sides of my brush. And then I'm going to pick up some white on the corner of my brush. Okay? On the corner. And the corner will go on top. And the bottom will be dark for your shadow. And then I'm just going to put on these little pebbles. So we just go touch. Nice. There's some already there that looks like rocks, so don't touch those. If they look like rocks already, leave them there. Alright, so refill your brush and then make these little tiny pebbles. Might need a smaller brush. Just give me some really nice rocks. I'm just going to add a bit of white there for the corner of my brush, and I'm going to touch and pull, touch and pull. Touch. Go on the chiseled edge. On the chiseled edge with the white is on the top of the chiseled edge. The brown paint is on your brush. But I'm still going on the chiseled edge to get that little bit of white to come off. See? Look. So you can fill it up with your brown again. So you have brown on your brush, and then you add a little bit of white on the corner. You don't want too much white because it'll end up taking away from your shadow. And you get these little... So you can move your brush around, like turn your brush different ways to try to get those pebbles. So you just touch and pull, touch, touch, touch and pull. A little bit more white. Some of them I don't want them to be too bright. So I'll just add a small bit. See, the palette knife gave me some really nice. Like I say, if you're not fussy about the way they look, just go back over them again. I'm just tapping on there. Tap, tap, tap. I want to try a different brush now in a second. I got a bigger rock right here. Maybe I can... Need a shadow. Alright, I'm just playing around. So I'm going to try a round brush this time. Let's see. I have to try different brushes to see what kind of effects I'm going to get. Some brushes work excellent for pebbles and some don't. So I'm going to try this little round one. It's pretty big, but you can dampen it if you want. I'm going to add my brown, my dark color. You can add a bit of blue to it in order to... And then I'm going to add a little bit of... Still got to add that little bit of white, okay? So I'm still doing the same thing. It's just that this is round. Just want to see if I can get different shapes. Not bad. Yep, it's working. Look at that. This is Salvador. I'm adding a little bit too much white. That has nothing to do with the brush. Oh yeah, that's nice. Working very well. I want to darken up that corner there a little bit. So I'm going to put in just a dark color on my brush, and I'm putting in these short strokes just to get that textured look of maybe some rocks, or I'm leaving some of the light ones there to make it look might be rocks. Just tapping it, sort of tapping it, and moving my brush around just so I can get, because I'm kind of trying to get a textured look. I don't want it to be a smooth look. Trying to darken up down here with the brown, ultramarine blue, and the dark color. Take a small flat brush. Now you don't, like I said, I'm just showing you these brushes, so you should just make sure the synthetic that you have there. And I'm going to take my brown paint and I'm going to lighten it up with a bit of yellow. Like that. Just going to add the brown and yellows together. Get it all mixed in together there. And I'm going to take this and bring it out into the water. And I'm going to bring out these little short strokes. See? Because I don't want to lose my, I certainly don't want to lose my water. So I'll bring that out in here as kind of shadows and different things like that. Nice. Okay, so we'll bring some of that and go horizontal now. Don't go down this way because that'll ruin it on you. I'm going to get some more dark color. Come back in here. All right. And because the shadow is pretty dark down here, I'm just going to bring it out with some dark paint. Burnt umber and I'm going to make it nice and shadowy down here. Get some more blue. Just trying to add color to my paint. Show you that you can add color. It doesn't have to be always brown or green. It can be all kinds of colors going together. Reflections in the water, see? Soften it out into the water here. Good. Bring some of this out here too, right? Just so it looks like it's coming out into the water. I'm going to add a bit of yellow, I think. A little bit of yellow. You can use whatever colors you want. The yellow looks nice, doesn't it? Tone them down a little bit too, right? I'm adding all kinds of colors today. Horizontal. Stay horizontal. Just going to lighten up that a little tiny bit there, not much. I'm going to leave that alone because that looks nice. All right. Throwing some color on there. I'm going to add some pebbles there too. Alright, look at that. Just kind of bring it on the water there. But I'm trying to make sure it's nice and dark over here with some dark blue. Dark down here, some yellows over here. See how I made the dark down here, see? I want to keep that nice and dark down there. So let's add some pebbles on there now. This here is nice. I'm going to add a little bit of a light brown by adding white to my brown. I'm just going to add a little bit of burnt sienna white and make some little highlights here like that. Don't need very many. Go. And the rest is going to be little rocks and things. So I'll get a smaller brush for that. Get your smaller brush, small flat, maybe you might do it for now. Get small flat going first. And then we might go back to the rounds. All right. So I'm going into my brown. Going into my brown. I'm going to add some white. Whoops. Brown and white on my brush. I'm going to try to make some nice little pebbles and rocks and different things like that over here. So let's make some little pebbles and stuff around here. Look, see? Just touch and pull, touch and pull, touch and pull. And go on your chiseled edge. Chiseled edge right here like this. Touch, 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 touch. Get more white. You have to reload on the corner of your brush every time. Reload just to white for now. Alright, and then just touch. And the smaller you want them, the less you touch. Touch, touch, touch. Touch. Just tap, 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 tap. And then nothing's coming off your brush. Tapping a few down here under the water. So when there's nothing left on your brush, only just a bit of shadow, use that for underwater pebbles. Okay, so go back and reload and get white on the corner of your brush, the brown on your brush, and then you can add more pebbles. I'm gonna add some more over here, I think. Nice little white tops on them so you can see them. As the paint is coming off your brush, let it come off, and then you can put them in the water. See? Some of them will look like they're underwater. See? Because there's no paint left on them, only just that little bit. And that'll leave you with some pebbles that look like they're underneath. Starting to come along, isn't it? Isn't it pretty? Love these brushes that I'm using, I must say. Now I want some pebbles over here, but don't want to be too bright, so I'm going to take some of that paint off I made. Alright, just want to make sure. Some of those to come out here, so maybe I'll, there we go, add a little bit of brown. There we go, to give it a browner. Just try, but you still have to see them, see? So it's a little tricky. Sometimes you get too much white and then you get not enough, and just back and forth till you get what you're looking for. If you put too much on, just go back and with brown and take it over what you did if it's too much. Okay, I'm just whatever's left over my brush now. I don't have very much paint, so I'm going to use that to put them so you can barely see them, but they're there in the water, maybe under the water. Hey, good, 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 good. I'm going to take, what am I going to do now? Let me see. Oh, that's nice. I like the way this is all came out, the texture came out, and I didn't really work at it. I just used my palette knife and it worked out beautifully. Just going to add a little bit of highlight to this. A little bit, not too much, just a little bit. These are little tiny details that you want to play around with at the end of your painting, see? Just play around with them at the end of your painting, which we're getting close to the end of the painting here now. So it's okay to play around. Alright. Maybe even if you want to go into some brown and white, make it light brown. So I just made a light brown, and I'm just going to probably add a few more little ones here. That's too bright. I want them darker than that. Add more brown, burnt sienna. Just get, that's better. Let me see. I don't want to mess that up. I better leave it alone because it looks so nice the way it is, don't you think? I wonder. Do you think that's okay? What's going around that there? Not sure what's going on there. So I'm going to have to do something with it. Give it a better shape. Better? So don't be afraid to play around with it and see if you can come up with different things that you can do with it, you know. Just trying to give it some highlight there. Okay, that was a mess. Be careful. Get carried away. Do what I did that time. What I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little white to that because I messed it up. I'm going to give kind of water lines going across here my chiseled edge of my brush. Just chiseled edge of my brush. I'm just kind of scraping on a little bit of water lines. Now, I'm trying. So that's it. I'm not going to do much more with that. I think I'm just going to add a few little more twigs over here with the liner brush. My long liner brush. The long liner brush we were using. And I'm going to put the dark color on there, the dark green, add a bit of green and burnt sienna blue. You know, just make sure you get it nice and dark. And then we're just going to pull up some twigs. Get nice and dark. Can't get it to move because I haven't got enough water on it. Let's see if we can get it to move this time. Burnt sienna blue, even a bit of green if you want. As long as they're dark colors. Nice. All these little details, they really help, don't they? They really help a lot. Maybe there's a couple over here. You probably won't be able to see them because the paint is dark over here. A little bit of white to brighten them up a little bit, just so you can see them. Not much. Right? I think that's it. I don't think I want to do much more because I'm getting carried away and I'm making a mess. It's so nice though, isn't it? I think it came out really nice. And we didn't have to do anything, you know, we just kind of put everything on there, and I think I'm quite happy with that. So look at that. That came out pretty nice, didn't it? Nice and colorful. That's what I wanted to accomplish today. I want to color. And I wanted to show you the brushes that I used. And that's about it. So I think I'm very happy with that painting. And let me know what you think of that painting. And give it a try. So guys, have a great day and happy painting. Signing out from Allison Pryor. Bye.